Okay, so um, today we are doing a deep dive
Yeah.
into one of the most pivotal moments in American history,
Yeah, okay.
the assassination of President Lincoln
Right.
at Ford's Theater.
Yeah.
And our main source today is
Okay.
going to be excerpts from Ford's Theater's website,
Okay.
specifically their page dedicated to Lincoln's assassination.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just incredible how many questions
Yeah.
still linger
Yeah.
around this event,
Yeah, no kidding.
even after, a century and a half.
Absolutely.
It's just wild.
And you know what makes it even more compelling is that it happened at a time when the nation was finally
Yeah.
exhaling after the Civil War, you
Yeah.
know? It's Good Friday, April 14th, 1865.
Wow.
And there's this sense of relief and optimism
Yeah.
everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
The war is over.
Right.
And President Lincoln and his wife are attending a performance of Our American Cousin, which is like a British comedy
Hold
at
up.
Ford's Theater.
It just seems so surreal that something so tragic could happen.
Yeah.
The lighthearted
Yeah.
play, especially considering that the Ford's Theater website actually mentions
Yeah.
that Lincoln had previously received death threats.
Yeah.
So it just makes you think about what kind of security measures
Yeah.
were in place at that time.
Absolutely. And the website actually delves into those very questions.
Oh, wow.
It paints this really vivid picture of Washington, D.C. at the time
Okay.
and how it was still under this, degree of wartime security. But there is maybe this, sense of complacency creeping in because the war was over.
Right.
And the website also goes into detail about John Wilkes Booth,
Okay.
who was actually a very famous actor at the time
Wow.
and a staunch Confederate sympathizer.
Okay.
And he basically seized this opportunity
Right.
when he learned that Lincoln would be attending the play that very morning.
Oh, wow. So this is all very last minute.
Yeah, it seems like it, yeah.
The website even shares an anecdote about Booth's really fervent belief that the South would rise again.
Right.
So it just really sheds light on his motivations and the extent of his fanaticism.
Yeah, yeah.
But how did Booth even gain access to the presidential box?
Right.
I mean, wouldn't wartime Washington have been on high alert?
You would think, right. And that's one of the lingering mysteries that the website talks about.
Yeah.
It goes into the layout of the theater and the security protocols at the time.
Right.
And it's really surprising how lax they were.
Really?
Yeah. Like you said, you would think that they would have been much more on top of things.
Yeah.
And it also mentions that there was this telegram
Uh-huh.
that was delayed,
Oh, no.
but might have actually warned Lincoln about a potential threat,
Oh.
which is crazy.
Oh, my God.
So it just adds another layer to the intrigue of it all.
It's just almost unfathomable to think about
Yeah.
how Booth was able to carry out his plan so successfully,
Right.
especially considering that Lincoln had previous death threats.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
It makes you question if there were more significant security lapses
Yeah.
than we initially thought.
Definitely. And that leads to a whole debate that the website highlights
Okay.
about whether Booth was a lone wolf or
Right.
if there was a larger conspiracy.
Yeah, was he driven solely by his ideology?
Yeah, exactly.
Or was this part of something bigger?
Yeah. Some historians whose work is featured on the site
Yeah.
argue that Booth's diary entries
Right.
hint at a broader plot
Oh, right.
involving Confederate agents
Right.
in Canada.
Wow.
But the concrete evidence is still elusive.
I'm just struck by how the website presents Lincoln's assassination,
Yeah,
not just as a historical event,
right.
but also as a turning point for the entire nation.
Absolutely.
The immediate aftermath must have been so chaotic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The website details the frantic manhunt for Booth
Yeah.
and how he was eventually killed 12 days later.
Wow.
And also just the nation's profound grief
Yeah.
over losing their president.
Right.
It really emphasizes how Lincoln's assassination,
Yeah.
while being a tragedy in and of itself,
Right.
also deeply impacted the course of Reconstruction
Yeah.
and really shaped the future of the nation.
What I find really thought-provoking is that
Yeah.
Ford's Theater still stands today,
I know, it's amazing.
and it functions as both a museum
Right.
and a working theater.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and the website does a really great job
Yeah.
of describing the preserved presidential box.
Right.
It really brings the history to life.
Yeah.
You can almost imagine what it was like
Yeah.
to be there.
Absolutely.
But that very fact that
Yeah.
it's still standing and it's a museum
Right?
raises a really crucial point.
Yeah.
The website encourages visitors
Mm.
to really consider the complexities of
Right.
preserving a site
Yeah.
where such a tragic event occurred.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Makes you think about the delicate balance
Absolutely.
between remembering a painful past
Right.
and, moving forward as a nation.
Yeah.
It's just incredible how this event,
Yeah.
even though it happened over 150 years ago,
Yeah.
still resonates with us today.
Absolutely. And as you continue exploring this event, here's something to consider.
Okay.
What can we as individuals learn from this tragic chapter in our history?
Mhm.
And how can we apply those lessons to the challenges that we face in our own lives today?
That's something I'm going to be thinking about.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
It's definitely food for thought.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It's been really eye-opening.
Yeah, it's been great.
And until next time, folks,
See?
keep on learning.
Keep on diving.